Hello my friends, we're back with another video, and in today's video I wanted to make a follow-up of one of the videos I made a little bit ago, and that was the video titled The SAT of Doom. And this SAT actually turned out a lot better than what I might have thought. And now the thing is, I'm not really ever one to talk too much about tests. I'm never really the type of person to be like, oh my gosh, that test was easy. Oh my gosh, that test was insanely difficult. I'm sort of just I don't know, I just kind of accept whatever it is, whatever that goes on, because at the end of the day, it is one test in a lifetime of tests, and I'll be able to go on with, like, long after the test has passed. This is not the end of me, but nonetheless, tests are indeed a very important assessment, a part of our academic careers, and there is a lot of weight to these tests. They do matter a lot, especially if you plan to go to college, which I do. But yeah, so the SAT of Doom, supposedly, I actually ended up scoring a 1410. Yes, that is an incredible score, at least to me personally. I worked really hard to get to that score, and yeah, I took the SAT once before, and I had gotten a 1290, and I had done some pretty good studying like then as well. And I suppose over time I just sort of better figured out like my own method of studying, like what really works for me, what is best for me, and how my brain actually kind of works. And yeah, that's something that you just kind of get in time through a lot of practice, a lot of changing in your methods of studying. And yeah, I'd say over the journey of months and months, I definitely did come to better understand my own way of learning and my own way of practicing for this test. And I know a lot of people might ask me, how did you do it? How did you study for this test? And I honestly used nothing different than anybody else. There's nothing that I use that you can't find online right now in this current moment. I used entirely free resources, and I'm sure like these resources are some of the stuff that you've heard like a million times that everybody has said they use to study. Now, one of the main ways that I sort of learn and pick up on things, especially when it comes to this sort of long-term memorization, I guess, and it has a lot to do with videos. Like James Liu, he is my personal favorite when it comes to learning the SAT because he has really in-depth videos and explanations, and I guess the language he sort of speaks and explaining it just helps me. I can understand that, like his method. And so what I would do is I would watch these videos and not just passively watch, but actively. And what I mean by that is things like taking notes or, truly like being engaged when I was watching, not just sort of playing it and then having it in the background or like thinking of something else. No, no, no. I gave my entire focus to this video, all of my brain power to understanding the concepts and taking notes on it so that I could always come back and refresh myself. And that's a really important thing when it comes to the SAT, when you have all these different concepts that you have to learn, and you might get really good at it one day, but then a few days later you're like, wait, what was that again? And that's why you need the notes. But yeah. And when it came to practicing, like actually applying my notes and my knowledge that I've gained, I would always go to Khan Academy. Their SAT, resources are really good. And also, this one that I find is significantly better than the SAT questions and stuff is the actual College Board Educators Question Bank. So if you look up their question bank, you'll find it totally free, and it's literally everything on the SAT, all the questions there. And bro, that's all you need, that is really all you need. I honestly can't think of anything else I might have used. If I recall, then I might add it later in the video when I'm editing this or something. But yeah, that is how I got a 1410 on the SAT. And I was honestly really proud of that to see my score. Like in the moment when I saw my score, okay, here's how that day went, right? It was kind of odd because everybody that day the score would come out, everybody was super hyped. Like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see my score. But again, I'm not one to talk too much about it. Like, all my friends and everything knew all this time leading up to the scores coming out. I've been anticipating this, but on the day of, then I was just totally dead silent. It was nothing coming out from me. And I honestly sort of accepted whatever would be of my score. Like I really, really hoped like and I want to say I had faith, but honestly, I don't know, maybe that might be giving myself too much credit there, but I definitely did have a strong hope that I would get something in the 14, range, like something starting with 14 at least. And I was really, really excited and anxious a little bit, and I think that just comes with, the nature of all of this. But yeah, I revealed my score. I'm glad I was alone when I did so because it was sort of like I could fully see my raw reaction, and I was absolutely like awestruck, just jaw dropped. I was blown away by my own success. And that's not me trying to brag or anything. I'm just saying that there will be moments like that where your hard work pays off, where you feel like, holy cow, I made it. I did that. I am the one that did that. I put on those hours, and all of those hours counted towards something. They counted towards something great, and you can see your work manifested. And I know that maybe that's a lot to say for just a score on a screen, but that score does carry a lot of weight, as I said, and those hours spent practicing and studying and learning, it really is satisfying to know that it wasn't wasted. It was actually contributing to my overall success as an individual. But yeah, it was really great to see my success, and I was proud for that day. But this leads me into something else that was just sort of on my mind. Has less to do with the SAT, and if any of you guys need any help or anything about it, then feel free to reach out to me. I will definitely be glad to help in whatever way possible. And maybe in the description I'll put in some other, help that I might be able to give. But yeah, in regards to my own self, this is just gonna be me sharing my feelings, sort of like a video diary, I guess you'd call it. But yeah, after this time, right after the scores came out, which I said everybody was super hyped and everything, then the next day at school, everybody has their score, everybody knows what's gone on, and it seems like there's some sort of tension, I guess, about the SAT. There's some sort of thing that's like nobody brings it up, like nobody wants to talk about it. And I don't know, I sort of felt like, in all honesty, I know people from my school will listen to this, but you know, totally brutally honest, I felt like it was almost like my own success was kind of like shot down. There's no reason for celebration, nothing worthy of celebrating because everybody was kind of disappointed, I suppose, with their score and their own success. And I don't know, I just couldn't help but feel like if somebody else was there, they would have definitely like lifted up the spirits and like, brought in celebration to the school. Like they would have definitely been the one to be like, you know what? Despite whether or not you are happy with your score or not, whether you're satisfied with your performance, there are people who really did accomplish greatness today. And well, a few days ago, I guess, whenever we took the test, a few people who really did well on this test. And even if you don't feel good about yourself right now, we should celebrate them. It is good to uplift one another in these times of success. But honestly, I did not feel that way. Like, I know my friends probably are proud of me for sure, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like maybe it's selfish. That's what it boils down to. Maybe it is really a selfish thing to want to be celebrated. But I don't know, I suppose my pride in my achievement had only lasted that one day. And I'm not saying it's to blame anyone. I'm not blaming anybody in particular. I'm just saying the sort of that same energy was just totally annihilated and just nowhere to be found. And I will admit though, there were a few people, a few friends of mine, when I showed them my score, they were really happy for me and everything, and that was really nice. But yeah, I just to get a little bit further into this, because I honestly do feel like talking. Um, I didn't, I don't know what I was about to say there. All right, something with my family, right? Recently, with this new score and everything, and I have, sort of proven myself that I've done well. My family said that I could apply to an out-of-state college, outside of Florida. And the thing about this is now it feels like I'm in a bigger league of which I have no reason to be competing in. Like, I mean, the standards for out-of-state schools are often higher and often much more competitive, especially for scholarships, because, why would I go to a school out of state without a scholarship and I have to pay student loans and stuff for an undergraduate when I could just go to school in Florida and I have like scholarships here that cover my entire schooling, I'm totally set here. And it is most probable, at least to my current understanding, that I will go to school in Florida for, college, university. And the thing is, though, there is this sort of chance like, hey, maybe I could go to school out of state. Maybe it is a possibility. And while it might not be most probable, it is still a possible outcome. But the thing is, I have felt sort of inadequate, like as if doing better on the SAT has somehow brought me down in a way. Now, I know that might not make it much sense, but it really does feel like how is it that I could possibly compete with any of these people? How I could possibly be anything when compared to my peers, And that's what I really dislike about the sort of college application process. I really have always disliked comparison. I'm pretty sure I've stated this on the channel before, but yeah, I really dislike comparison between people. And as I've said on this channel, I'm pretty certain is that I am not a competitive person by nature. I'm just really not competitive. And yeah, that's why I dislike the college application process so much because it is those two things. It is being compared to your peers. It is being competitive with them because it is a sort of dog eat dogs type of thing, If I don't get the scholarship, somebody else will. And good for them, honestly. I accept that. But I assume the only reason I do accept that is because I have my sort of future secured at some other school in Florida. But yeah, I don't really know what I just said or talked about, and that was probably a whole lot of blabbering on there, but that's okay. I'm sure it could mean something to somebody or resonate in some way. But yeah, that is just my honest feelings. And I don't mean to say anything, any of these things to make somebody feel like you need to be like, oh, I'm so proud of you, Timmy, blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. That is not at all what it is because first of all, that is not going to help me to feel proud of myself. Like, when you tell somebody, hey, you should feel this way, you should feel proud of yourself, or you say, like, hey, I'm proud of you, you should be proud of you too. Like, bro, that nothing changes, right? Nothing changes about the way that I feel about myself just because you sort of explicitly state something. And I don't know, honestly, it is just a struggle of mine that I have to come to learn how to deal with, and that is all right. All things will come in appropriate time, and I'm at peace with that, at least for now. But yeah, if you guys have had any questions about anything at all, I'll be here. Always feel free to message me, comment, use the anonymous form, whatever you want, all right? And we can bring up any sort of topic whenever you guys want to talk about. If you want to share your experience, share a friend of a friend's, I don't even know. But yeah, the reason I took so long to upload this week, because I haven't uploaded in almost one whole week, which is crazy. But the reason is because I had a video that I was gonna post, but I'm gonna be entirely honest, I didn't like it enough to post it. Like, I honestly don't even remember what it even was. I don't remember what I said, but I just remember not liking it enough to post it. So then I just didn't. And then, of course, life gets in the way. I never really make videos on weekends. But yeah, here we are now making this video, and that's worth something. But yeah, speaking of worth something, know that you are worth something. And it has been a journey, definitely, to do this whole college stuff, this life stuff, because um, I have to sort of realize my value and that my worth is not tied to any such test score or acceptance or any of those external sort of factors that might place me in a quote unquote like higher prestige of anyone else, you know? My value is not any different than yours, and yours is no different than mine. Anyways, I wish you guys all the best, and thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, and I hope this could have helped somebody. Have a beautiful day, and I appreciate you. Peace.